Good morning. Welcome to the Community Review on Hot 92.3. I'm Josefa Salinas, your host. It's time for our series, Profiles in Life and Success. It's February. You know, we do this 3 times a year. Actually, I would love to do it every single week. But we highlight it 3 times a year to profile individuals who we think are amazing, who have reached some milestone in their life, overcome some obstacle, or are successful. This young woman actually exemplifies all of that. In case you don't know, remember TLC? Everybody knows TLC, okay? This young lady was right there. She was the C in TLC.
I am the C.
Chile, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Absolutely, highly favored and fabulous.
Oh, I love that.
How are you?
Listeners, do y'all know that this woman has the most amazing Pantene hair I think I've ever seen in my whole life? It's like a real live commercial going on right now in front of me.
Oh, man, I love it because people always, and I'm not going to plug, anybody's anything, but I am. I mean, I'll tell people, if it really works, I'll tell people I love Ovation. Mm-hmm. It works. Mm-hmm. It really works. I love it. And I love taking good care of my hair. And I think that you should, because it's the thing that speaks about you before anybody even gets a chance to say anything to you.
Yeah, that's true.
They see you from across the room. They see that hair.
Oh, yeah.
And it can make somebody go,
yeah.
Or,
uh-huh.
But let's say about you right now. You got a lot going on right now. What Chile wants?
What Chile wants?
Chile gets?
I'm not going to stop until I get it.
There you go.
How about that?
Because, your story's all about looking for that special person, which, you know what? I don't care how old you are, how many relationships you've been through. If you're not with the person who makes your heart flutter, who makes your knees weak, who makes your stomach tingle, that you can't stop thinking about, and who adores you, why are you with them?
That's right. And someone who encourages you to be better.
Yeah. He's got to be an addition. You're the meal. All you need is dessert.
Exactly.
That's the problem women have. They think the man is the meal.
Yeah.
You're the meal. He's dessert.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is true. That's very true. And because I feel like, in relationships, how some people say, the 50-50 or whatever. I'm like, no, you get yourself at 100%. You get that man that is at 100% with himself, and y'all get together. You got 200. So if somebody falls short, you're above 100%.
Right.
And we can work this thing out.
Well, plus you have to have somebody who is. You don't want somebody who's weak where you're weak.
Exactly.
Or strong where you're strong, because you're going to bump heads.
Yeah, you got to have that balance. Yep.
Yeah, and I think the most important part, and the thing that the biggest mistake I feel women make, and that's from doing this for 24 years and listening to all the things that people have called and complained about, they're looking for somebody to make them happy.
Girl, let me tell you something. This is why I have my show. I'm serious. I encourage women to raise the bar, have standards. Don't listen to people when they say you're too picky. It's no such thing. You know what I mean? And when you know your self-worth, then that's when you want those kinds of things for yourself, and you're not going to settle for anything less than what you deserve, and I feel like you should you settle in a house, not in a relationship. You know what I mean?
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We can settle in the house all day long, but in a relationship, no way.
Why should you? And you got to stop looking for your happiness in someone else.
Exactly. It has to be here already. So that's the problem. I think, like you say, you're looking for someone else to validate who you are. You get that own validation for yourself. Look in the mirror, and because I do it all the time. I don't ever get to a place in my life where I feel like I know it all and I got it all together in every area, because as long as we live, it's always something else to learn. It is always something new you're going to learn about yourself that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, or I look at it this way, so it's always about being the best you that you can possibly be at all times. And why wouldn't you want that in return? Because I know what I have to bring to the table. I know I love hard when I get there. You know what I mean? And, I'm a giver. I'm a lover. I'm all those great things. So I'm just not going to give that away to anybody, or just have anybody around so that I feel like I'm not by myself, I'm not going to do that.
So that's a big thing. I've got some girlfriends who are so desperate to get married that I see them making choices that they would not make if they were not so desperate to not be alone. And I'm like, oh my, I just want to shake my head. But you get to the point, especially with your girlfriend, sometimes all you got to just sit back and just let them, I mean, you tell them how you feel. Yeah. And once in a while you remind them, like, I don't think this is a good idea.
Right.
But you got to let them just do it. Because sometimes when people get their mindset,
oh, yeah,
I am getting married, I'm going to be in love.
Mm-hmm. But they have to learn that very hard lesson on their own, you know, and just for themselves like that. Because when you do it like that, you're definitely going to end up in divorce court, or you're just going to be miserable for the rest of your life.
Or hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
Or abused.
And then you're bringing in, you know, beautiful children into this mess that you knew was a hot mess from the beginning. You know, so I just feel like, you know, you can avoid all of that stuff by just being honest with yourself and getting yourself, you know, together, being the best you.
So the TV show is called What Chile Wants. When is it on?
It's on every Sunday night at 9 o'clock on VH1.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about that experience. How is that different now that you're on TV and people are seeing this intimate side of you, the personal side of you, compared to when you were the recording artist and you got to put on the clothes and be the part of the group, the C and the TL? You know, those are those different personas? Was it a different experience when you're is it the same kind of fan interaction?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's like the same, because in my group, you know, we always stood up for women. That's our thing, TLC, girl power. And that's not anything different than what I'm doing right now, girl power, you know. And people that are true TLC fans, when they hear how I am, the stuff I say I want and don't want, they're like, that's Chile.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Because, you know, we've always been outspoken. I mean, we just give it to you how it is. And, you know, and that's kind of, that's just how I am. So it's not fake at all. Mm-hmm. You know, and it is, you know, it's there are some differences there, but for the most part, I'm just being me. It's just a continuation, you know, from what I do still in my group to, you know, just doing stuff by myself.
Now, we had a conference this past summer called How to Be a Girl.
Okay.
And it was for young girls. We had 50 girls between 7th and 12th grade. And it was amazing, these girls, when they walked in, how they walked in and how they left 5 days later. The transformation that happened in them. But when they walked in, we had them fill out questionnaires, and it was amazing to me how many young women today have such low self-esteem. Mm-hmm. I personally think that the media has a lot to do with it. The images that we're allowing women to constantly be sold as through ads, television, movies, all of that. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that, yes, that plays a part, but when you get to the root goes back to the parents. You know, it is our job. You can't look for television or a magazine to teach your kids anything. You know, yes, they can be influenced by those kinds of things, but when you plant the right seeds in your children and water them properly, they're going to harvest, and it's going to be a beautiful harvest. You know what I mean? So it's our job as parents to make sure that we educate our kids on everything, even when it comes to eating right. Like, I cannot stand when I hear a parent say, "Oh, my baby won't eat that." I'm like, because I remember when I was little, and
there was a choice.
My big mama, you ate what was on the plate, and I was like, "Big mama, I don't want to eat this." She was like, "Well, you're not going outside." So I had to eat it. It wasn't a choice. I'm like, I'm not buying any groceries. I'm not paying any bills. You know, so parents got to be parents. They're not parenting anymore. That is the problem.
Yeah, it's amazing to me. I've raised a daughter and have a 14-year-old son. When somebody tells me, "Oh my, I can't get him to do that," I look at them like, "Excuse me? Girl, who's the parent at home?"
Whoever, y'all call me. Let me hang out in your house for give me 2 weeks.
I know. I said, send your child.
I need 2 weeks, and that boy or that girl will be fine.
I know.
You know, because it's funny, because like all the kids, all my son's friends love to come to our house.
Same here.
Because I'm like a big kid, but at the same time, I'm very stern. You know, like, if other kids drink soda and all that stuff at their house, they don't at my house. I don't have no soda. We don't do no, you know, candy and stuff like that. It's healthy eating. We have fun. I let my son know. I'm like, okay, y'all, I know you guys are gonna have conversation, but I'm gonna be coming in every now and then, listening to what's going on. I may press the intercom. You don't know when I'm gonna do it, and I will hear your conversation. You know, so you always have to stay involved so you can, you know, keep up on things with your kids and correct and say, okay, you were talking about this, but let's talk about that. So and if you do that, then they're going to be so much better, and it'll just cut down on even bullying at school. Those kids are doing that because their parents are probably bullying them, or they're not getting the attention that they so desperately need from home, and so they act out. So it takes a village to raise kids. As an adult, it is our responsibility not only to help with our children, but with everybody else's, correct them, but do it with the love, like Michael Jackson says, the LOVE.
Right. Oh, I know, because I don't have any problem. If kids are out in front of my house doing something, I'll say, what are you doing? Are you crazy?
That's right.
Do I need to go? I know where you live.
Exactly.
I can go to my son's like, Mom, I said, I don't care. I know their mother would not want them doing this, and if she does, then I need to go talk to her because this is ridiculous.
You know what? That's what this is my girl up in here now. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
You're speaking my language.
Yep.
I'm serious.
But I'm wondering.